Hello, good morning, my family and friends. It's been a minute since I've spoken to you. I guess some of you may be wondering how we're doing over here, 8,000 miles away, give or take a few hundred here or there, depending on what parts of the country in the United States, what part of the United States that you live in. Now, for you, Will, my oldest son, this is going to be different for you because you're in the United Kingdom. But I think you have a better idea because you have traveled the world, or at least most of the world, while you were in the Air Force. So you have an idea where I'm coming from. So let me set the scene for you. We live on a tropical island in the Pacific Ocean, specifically the Southeast Asia. To make it even more precise, we actually live on the island of Luzon, which is part of the Philippine archipelago. Now, you may ask, what is an archipelago? Most of you, I'm sure, know, but in case you don't, it's a cluster of islands that make up a nation. But there are over 7,600 islands that make up this nation. It's called the Republic of the Philippines. Now, in this, we currently live or reside about 23 miles outside of Metro Manila. And Metro Manila is the capital of the Philippines. Where we live is not crowded, and that's why we chose it. And it's not, Metro Manila is an urban area, which, any of you may know that if you truly know me, know that this fits my profile. I've never been a big fan of big cities. I usually elect to live just outside of a major city, and that way it's easy for me to commute in and out when I need to for recreation or whatever, but that's just me. Don't like concrete jungles. I'm not in favor of rural country areas either, and here they call those provincial areas. Now, they're just too isolated for me, and so here, that in itself is even magnified more. So we're in what you might call a suburb. Today, I'm just going to give you a few instances to show you the difference of lifestyles. So I'll start with money. The currency here is the Philippine peso. It's not the same as the Mexican peso, and it's currently trading just over 60 pesos to the dollar. So for $1, you get 60 plus pesos at this particular time. Now, consumer items, most of the local products are much cheaper than in the United States or in the United Kingdom. The next thing I'll discuss is services. The services here are much cheaper than they are in the US. For instance, for home internet and a home phone, which I don't use, I'm paying 2,699 pesos a month for gigabit fiber. Fiber is the dedicated line to each individual client. So I'm paying 2,699 pesos a month for that, and that's approximately $45. Right? Anybody out there in the US or UK that has home internet, there's going to be a big difference there. I'm paying $45 a month for something that back in the States, I was paying approximately $180 a month for. And I'm getting better speeds. I've personally tested on Wi-Fi here. I've personally tested my home internet speed and clocked it at over 900 megabits using the speed test app from Apple, from the Apple store. Okay, so the next thing is water. So for December, we paid 1,236 pesos for our water bill, which is $20.68. In January, we paid 1,199 pesos, which works out to about 20 bucks. It was 20.06, 20, US dollars, $20.06. And in February, we paid 1181, which worked out to about $19.76 approximately. Just depends on what the daily trading of the dollar is going for. And that's usually lately up around 60, but it hasn't been lower than 55 since we've been. Electricity is more expensive here than even by Western standards, I believe. So for December, we paid 15,995 pesos, which worked out to about $264. January, we paid 14,758 pesos, which works out to $243 approximately. And in February, we paid 13,208 pesos, which works out approximately 218 US dollars. And that's in today's exchange. In the past 3 months, it's been, between 58 and 60s. So now I'm going to move on to groceries. Now, the food here, first of all, is fresher because it's sourced locally. And yeah, they don't pay more for organic or non-pesticide foods like you do there, like we do in the States. They don't pay more for something like Trader Joe's or Whole Foods, because their foods here, for the most part, if you go to the local markets and the community markets, it's all local, and I mean it's all fresh. If you want to shop for the expensive imported items, and that's usually more the packaged items, things like that, you can also get vegetables and other local goods there, but they're going to cost you more because, it's like any grocery store you go to. You're going to pay for the ambiance. Now, what we do is we do a combination of this. There are some imported grocery items that we want, and so I just like the some of the quality in it. So we do pay more for some items, but we shop those things. We go to some stores for some stuff, and then most of the time, my wife and her helper / maid will shop at the local markets. So that's how we're doing it here. I don't want to take up too much of your time, so I'm doing this in a series, and this is part 1. And I'm at the end now. I'm gonna come back to you with part 2 after the holiday celebrations are over, because we have to leave town. We're going to visit with my sister-in-law and her children, and spend the holidays with them. So until then, I'm out.